I will tell you, I have always been in the Bronx. I was in a sex abuse unit for about maybe 8 years. The city was giving scholarships for our masters, so I was awarded a scholarship. In order to do this work, first and foremost, you must have a passion for it. You have to be very responsible, you have to be very, very organized. You have to have really good writing skills, you have to be able to present because you're testifying in court. It's a lot of administrative work, a lot of reports, a lot of meetings, and I do trainings. My typical day is never typical. Every day is different. I guess I can say that's what I like about the job. I'm very much attached to my BlackBerry. If there's a case in court and the attorneys need to speak to me, I'm conferencing cases with them and my team to making sure that we're making the best possible decision in court. It's very important work. If you have any level of compassion for those who are disenfranchised, it's a wonderful place to be. I think that ACS offers just a plethora of opportunities. I wouldn't change anything. I think I'm on point in my career. And I count it all joy. I think it's a blessing that I'm here and that I've survived this long. You may come in thinking that, you know what, I want to do CPS work, and you can find yourself writing policies and procedures because that's just what your niche is. I think that everything that we do at ACS, despite what role you're in, it's a building block for whatever your next steps are.
And I did decide to go to social work school, and I stayed at University of Pittsburgh, so I got my MSW there. Social work was one piece of a puzzle, and I just became interested in kind of acquiring another piece, so I decided to go to law school. I ended up at Children's Services in FCLS, which is where I work here. This is obviously a social services organization. That's our primary focus, is helping children and families, but sometimes those pieces require legal advocacy. And that's the piece that I like, is being one person who can kind of go between both worlds. It is a very serious responsibility. The workers are coming in, having investigated families, being in the homes, being in the communities. They have made really careful assessments about what needs to be done, and so we as attorneys, we need to really be both very aggressive in helping ACS and the workers achieve the ends that they want, while also understanding we need to act ethically, responsibly, with respect to these families and respect to the court, respect to our adversaries. Being in court and litigating cases has, and I can honestly say this, prepared me for any job that I would ever have. I think it's a level of multitasking, of discipline, of finesse and nuance, of interpreting between different social work and legal languages. And that's what I love that I have learned at ACS, is realizing that I could really do whatever I put my mind to, and why I think this is such a cool job. And I think that it's just an amazing growth opportunity that you just don't get everywhere.
I was with the Hospital and Sex Abuse Unit for 2 years. This was a great position, however, I wanted more, and I needed to go back to school. You'll tell a parent, these are our concerns, and as a result, we are recommending that your child is remanded or placed into foster care.
Will the mother be there?
Even though it's uncomfortable for you, you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's the only way that you can grow. With OSI, we deal with reports made against foster parents involving our own foster children. When you file a case and you remove a child and they're placed in foster care, you think, well, that's it, my job is done. Child is safe, yay for me, right? And then when you go to OSI, and you're having to deal with reports that are made against foster parents, that's when you find out, wow, I think it opened up my eyes in terms of, you know what, removal isn't always the answer. There have been times when I've ended an investigation and it was my closing visit and they say, well, when are you coming back? You know, is this really the end? Are we not going to see you again? You know, and you do develop those relationships. Those are the moments that stick out in my mind. And those are the moments that, you know, help me go from one month to the next. At this point where I am, I've gone from not so much seeing our work with families at the micro level that I was seeing it before when I was a CPS, but seeing it more on a macro level and seeing how certain policies that we have in place, our work with other divisions, how that directly impacts the work of our frontline staff. And I think that that's where I'm mostly interested in because it's about doing work that impacts on a bigger level.
Upon beginning undergraduate school, at the time my intention was to study psychology so that I can gain a better understanding of the person. I actually ended up gaining a desire to study social work. When I first was offered the job, I was very ambivalent about becoming a child protective specialist. Of course, all of the things you hear in the media and people's notions of what an ACS worker is really like, I wasn't sure that that would be a good fit for me. But I took a chance, applied, joined ACS. It was not as what I thought. It was actually better than I thought. There was a lot of camaraderie. There was a lot of supports. We relied on our colleagues a lot, and it helped. It's very fulfilling, and that's the beauty of child welfare. When you see those success stories, they kind of help you deal with the not so successful stories. I've learned to be comfortable with myself. I think that, you know, when you work in a huge agency, it's easy to become what you think people want you to become. Just be yourself.
Thank you for the excellent work on the case. This is designed to be a strength-based discussion on what we all...
If you come to a job that you like to do, then the work is easy. And for me, I actually enjoy working with people, and I actually enjoy working in the helping profession. So for me, it's organic. I'm optimistic that I'll be able to teach people how to do it and get the job done in a way that's swift and effective.
I think that I've been very fortunate that I have encountered people who have taken an interest in me and saw something in me that maybe I didn't see in myself, and kind of helped guide my career path.
We've had the really great stories where parents that have had terrible, terrible struggles are reunited and they're in court crying and the judge is complimenting them, and those are the great moments when we see that our work has really paid off.
And it has its rewards, though. You know, you get that satisfaction of knowing that you helped the family.
But the truth is, when you're working with the families, you get to see the value in the work that you do, and that's what keeps workers coming back every day.